everyone. First of all, thank you so much for being here. And I just quickly want to see if there are any culinary students or some aspiring chefs. Is it better now? Yeah. So I quickly want to check if there are any aspiring chefs, any culinary students here, anyone pursuing hotel management. Oh, a lot of them. All right. And any home bakers, anyone running their own businesses. That's amazing. Okay, great. I want to make this session as simple and as interactive as possible with all of you. And I want to show recipes to you that are very versatile and you can use them in many formats and in many applications, right? So please, if you have any questions, please let me know. And we will be doing a lot of tasting as well. And since I'm a chocolatier and I'm the executive pastry chef at Manam Chocolates, of course, it is my pride to showcase Indian craft chocolate to you. I know that we're always talking about Belgian chocolate, we're talking about Swiss chocolate, but chocolate can very much be made in India and good quality chocolate. So for all of my recipes today, I will be using Manam chocolates, which you can use for your recipes as well, because these couvertures are also available at Manam chocolates and you can definitely use them. Just to introduce the dish, what we're going to be doing is textures of chocolate. I want to showcase the versatility of chocolate in pastry. You've already learned how to make chocolates and bonbons from Chef Arvind. I'm going to be showcasing all the pastry applications that you can do with chocolate, and all these recipes are something that you can easily recreate at home. I've kept that in mind that be it you are a home baker, be it you are running your own business, be it you are a culinary student, you're going to be able to replicate this at home. So it's really simple and versatile. And like I said, your energy gives me energy. So let's keep this interactive. Anybody who knows what chocolate is, or where does chocolate come from? Cocoa beans, yes. What's the tree on which the chocolate grows or cacao pods grow? What is it called? Any idea? No? None of you? Think. There's a famous brand that makes brownies by this name. I'm sure you all have seen or heard. No? Nobody?
ఆన్సర్ చెప్తే జైల్లో వేస్తానని అయితే ఎవరు అనలేదు. కనీసం గెస్ అన్నా చేయండి, తప్పైనా పర్వాలేదు, ఇట్స్ ఓకే. జస్ట్ గివ్ సమ్ గెసెస్. ఈవెన్ ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఇస్ రాంగ్, నో వన్ ఇస్ గోనా మేక్ యూ స్టాండ్ అవుట్ సైడ్ ఆఫ్ ద క్లాస్.
No? You've all heard of Theobroma? Yes? No? Maybe? You've heard? Theobroma is the name of the tree on which cacao pods grow. Alright? So the next time you go, you visit, you go around, you'll at least try and recollect. What I'll do is I'll quickly have recipe sheets distributed to all of you. You can take that as a reference. So what we'll be starting with is a gluten-free chocolate cake. It's a very simple chocolate cake that is enriched with almond flour. It does not have any maida in it. So anybody who's intolerant to having maida and keep asking you for gluten-free products, this is something that you can easily make. Can I get a volunteer who wants to make this? So you'll see in your gluten-free chocolate cake, in the recipe, you'll have eggs, egg yolks and sugar. So you want to ideally get started with this mixture. You can start with your eggs and egg yolks and sugar, and what you're going to do is just whisk it. You don't want to aerate it too much, you just want to whisk it. In this particular recipe, I would suggest that you use eggs, but if you do want to make it without eggs, then you can use a mixture of the flax egg, which is ideally 3 tablespoons of flaxseed powder and about 6 tablespoons of water. You'll get a similar sort of a consistency, and you'll also need to add some butter to the recipe. Yeah, so about this consistency, you'll just whisk it a little more so that the sugar dissolves. Like I said, you're really not looking to aerate this so much. you're not looking to make this very fluffy. What you are looking to do is to ensure that the sugar slightly dissolves. So once you have this ready, what we'll do is, I've got some 80% dark chocolate. The reason I'm using a 80% dark chocolate, if the percentage is high, is the chocolate sweet? Yes, no? No? You've all tasted dark chocolate and slightly higher percentage of dark chocolate. So in the recipe, you'll see that the sugar quantity is slightly higher, and I want to balance that out with a bitter chocolate. So what I'm using here is a 80% dark chocolate. And this is something that I would suggest you also, that when you see your recipes and you see that either your brownie, your cake, your sponge, any of that is too sweet, you can start switching it up to a chocolate that has a higher percentage of cacao, which is an 80% or a 90%. Yeah, you can add the chocolate in. So we whisked our eggs and sugar, and we are adding our melted chocolate into it, which is a 80% dark chocolate. And this is from West Godavari. This is from Andhra Pradesh. The cacao is grown in Andhra Pradesh, and we make the chocolate at Manam. So this is a delicious chocolate. I will be sending samples of the chocolate as well for some of you to taste. You can taste it. Yeah. So your batter will start looking something like this. This is just your eggs, sugar and chocolate. And to this mixture, we'll be adding some fresh cream. This is your regular fresh cream, the Amul fresh cream that you get.
That all the ingredients for the recipe are local, and you have been given the recipe and all. So I request every one of you to go home, give it a try, as it a very simple recipe, and then post it on your Instagram channels or YouTube, tagging Food Affair and tagging Chef Nikita as well. It will be very nice to see your way of cooking as well.
Yes, absolutely. And I would love to repost some of your creations also. So definitely. What I have here is almond flour. The simplest way for you to make it at home is just take whole almonds and blitz it. And you just make sure that it's got a slightly coarse texture. Don't over grind it, then it will start leaving out the oil. What you want to have is a nice powdery sort of a consistency. And we have a little bit of baking powder as well. So you can alternate that as well. And that's it. All you need to do is bake this batter at a 170-degree oven for about 20 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes depending on the heat distribution of your oven, and it's pretty much ready. So this is your simple gluten-free almond cake recipe, and the batter is ready. It's just done in less than 10 minutes. So I really hope you recreate this. What we'll do is we'll send across, I've already baked a portion, and we'll send across samples for all of you to taste it. You can taste, and you'll see that it's so delicious that you want to recreate easily at home. What you can also do is store this batter, and the consistency of the batter will be like this. If you refrigerate it, and you can bake it as well. So you can store this batter for up to a day or two and then bake this as well. Yeah? All right. Anybody of you have listened to this fancy term called cremo? It's a hazelnut cremo, it's a raspberry cremo. Have you seen videos where chefs have used this by any chance? No? Do you know what cremo means? Which language is it at least?
French.
French, yes. It is a French term which means creamy. All right? It literally translates to something that is creamy. And what we are going to be doing next is a hazelnut cremo. So it's a very creamy textured product. It is different from your ganache. Your ganache usually has a mixture of chocolate and cream, but your cremo will be a mixture of chocolate cream and some egg yolks to bring in the creaminess of it. So usually you make a custard and then you add your chocolate or your fruit or any of your preferred ingredients to make it into a cremo. All right? Any volunteers again? Come. Yeah. I'll be doing another recipe. Probably you can join in. Please have a seat. Your name? Vijay. And you are a culinary student from? You're from Regency College. Great. So what we have is, I'm taking the milk and the cream in a saucepan. I'm going to slightly warm it. And what we are going to do is tempering of eggs. You've heard of tempering of chocolate. Tempering of eggs is, so we temper eggs so that it doesn't curdle and it doesn't become an omelette in your milk. You don't want that. You want a very creamy custard like consistency. So once the cream and the milk comes to a boil, we're going to add it into our egg yolks and sugar mixture. अमूल का क्रीम. So जब भी आप whipping cream यूज़ करते हैं, उसका फैट परसेंटेज जो होता है उसको 35% से ज़्यादा होना चाहिए. Only then it will start whipping well. अगर आप 20, so we'll just quickly resume back to the recipe. The milk and the cream has come to a boil. It should be boiling really well, and then slowly we are going to whisk it into our eggs and sugar mixture. Whisk fast. Yeah. This is something that we call as tempering of the eggs. You want to add a hot liquid so that the temperature rises and it doesn't curdle. You don't want it to curdle. Then you will reduce the heat and put the mixture back into the saucepan, and we'll cook it slowly so that it gets a very creamy custard-like consistency. So the key is to scrape it from the base and keep mixing it. Alright? Otherwise it will start curdling. We are cooking the eggs so that you don't have any issues with any allergies or something like that. You want to cook the eggs well enough. So ideally I would cook this to about 82 degrees and then stop cooking it. How do you know it at home? You'll see that it starts to thicken. So ideally that's what you're looking at. Sorry. So if your chocolate is not melted and it is in chunks, this is when I would add the crème anglaise, what we have made, into the chocolate and let the heat of the crème anglaise melt the chocolate. But if your chocolate is already melted, then you'll have to wait to let it cool down. What happens when you're using really good quality chocolate? If you put too much of heat, it's going to start splitting. You will see sometimes that when you make a ganache, all your oil or butter comes on top of the chocolate. It looks split because it's been overheated. So if you overheat any of your chocolate, ganache, all of that, it will start splitting and you don't want to do that. So I'm just going to add little by little and let it come together. So you'll see that initially when you start adding, the mixture will look like it's not coming together, but don't worry, don't be shocked by this. Just be patient and keep going. You can use up until here if you want a caramel sauce, and if you want a ganache is when you can add chocolate into it. Now what we'll do again is just add this caramel into the chocolate little by little and make sure it doesn't split, and blend this and store it in the refrigerator. And once you have stored it in the refrigerator, this is the consistency that you will get. It's a set ganache that you will get. This is the consistency that you will be getting. तो आप थोड़ा थोड़ा करके इसमें मिलाना है, थोड़ा थोड़ा करके मिलाइए, नहीं आप डायरेक्टली डाल सकते. यस. And please add some salt in this. It will taste much better. So please remember to add some salt in this. एक minute. So what I'm going to do is just simply plate all of these elements together that we've made. We made the gluten-free chocolate cake. We did the hazelnut cremo, and we made a salted caramel ganache. More things that you can do is I've also made a chocolate ice cream with the same chocolate. We've also made a hazelnut chocolate crunch. So it's got all the textures of chocolate. So you can just take this simple ingredient and turn it into multiple products like this. So I'll just plate that up. Anybody wants to bring out the chef in them and plate it? We'll get you another plate as well, a white plate. We have some gelato. I think all of you are hungry. It's lunchtime. Yeah. And that's it. In no time, you have your plated dessert. So thank you so much for being patient. You can taste, if some of them want to taste, you can taste this. And I'm around if you have any questions. Thank you so much.